In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Smith & Wesson Search and Rescue Clip Point blade, which is very similar, by the way, to the Tanto blade we looked at not too long ago on the channel. And we're going to do a balance comparison between these two knives and see which one flies the best. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me in the airplane. So, folks at Smith & Wesson were kind enough to send me one of their CKSUR2, which is a search and rescue clip point blade. And actually, Russell Taylor sent me this one shortly before he left. After the Taylor branch was purchased by Battenfield Technologies, or whatever the division of Smith & Wesson. I don't know the chain of command there, but Smith & Wesson's at the top of the org chart, however you play it. So we did a quick little test about this with a Tanto blade here, and these knives are very, very, very similar. As you can see there, really the only difference is the blade shape. Same blade steel, same handle, same weight, same length, same specs, same sheath, same everything. But in case you missed that, we'll go ahead and talk about the specs on this real quick, get to doing a little bit of knife stuff, and then we want to do a balance comparison. I kind of want to do a balance throw off between these two knives and just see which one, to me, seems to be more balanced. And there may not be a difference, but it'll be fun to find out, won't it? So let's talk about this knife real quickly here. So I got my notes here, so let's see. So first of all, this knife has an overall length of 10.5 inches, or for those of you who, well, you know who you are, 26.7 centimeters overall length. Has a 6-inch or 15.3 centimeter clip point blade of 7CR17 MOV steel, and it's kind of a rat tail tang, honestly, but the handle is 4.47 inches or 11.4 centimeters, and it's a black rubber covered kind of a rat tail handle, and then it weighs just 7 ounces, or about 200 grams. And the price for this model on Amazon is $25. Now it comes with this I'm pretty sure it's ambidextrous sheath, but it's a nylon, kind of one of these nylon sheaths with a little belt, removable pouch on front. So this pouch will come off with a sharpening stone in it, and they're calling it a stone. It's actually just I'll call it a sharpener. It is a little diamond plate thing. So again, it's not an Arkansas oil stone, but it's probably better than nothing. But so there's that, and then the knife itself fits in. Let's see if it goes either way. I hadn't checked that yet, so we'll check it right here live for you. It goes, that's a right-handed carry, and this is left-handed carry. So it works either way, which is cool. So a couple of details about it, and then we'll get to doing the knife stuff. First of all, as you can see, it's like a stick tang kind of knife with a plate on the end of it. Rubber coated handle, which I found very, very comfortable. Kind of the same style handle as maybe a old classic K-bar fighting knife or whatever. But it does have a little bit of a finger, kind of a swedge looking thing here. And then this is the clip point version. Pretty decently sharp spine, really. The other one was just fine, and it's got a finger guard here. So this is kind of modeled on a fighting knife design, obviously, like a Air Force survival knife, just a classic fighting knife design with a classic clip point blade. So there's the specs of the knife. Now, before we get into the knife stuff, let me just take a little bit of a rambling detour, because you know me, right? I've had several people complain about Smith & Wesson, say I'm selling out because I'm reviewing these cheap knives and blah blah blah. And I don't know what it is about. There seems to be, anytime there's a large company involved, people want to get all mad and hate them because they're actually making a profit. But I'll say this, okay? This, in my opinion, is a lower budget version of a fighting style classic combat tactical knife. Again, this knife's like $25 with the sheath. It's not a full tang, okay? I understand that, but most knives are not full tang for hundreds and hundreds of years, and neither is a $100 and something K-bar fighting knife either. So, I'm not going to fault them for that. That's not what that's not the purpose for this knife. Is not bushcraft and banging and batoning logs and stuff like that. It's just a general all-around knife, and I think for doing that, it serves its purpose pretty well. At least the Tanto did. We're going to see if this one does. I have no reason to think it wouldn't. One other thing I'll say on this rambling, and then we'll stop. People say, you know, Schrade, now you're reviewing Smith & Wesson, that's garbage, you're stuck with Schrade. Guess what? Schrade and Smith & Wesson are essentially the same company, and they have been since I've been reviewing knives, since I've been reviewing Schrade, since I started the channel. So Taylor Brands made Schrade and an Old Timer and Uncle Henry and I think Imperial, and they actually also made every Smith & Wesson knife that was made under just they paid Smith & Wesson a licensing fee to use the name, I think, and I guess the company was so successful that Smith & Wesson made them an offer to buy it. So good for the Taylor family. They did a great job in building up a completely out of business brand into a viable business that Smith & Wesson thought was worth the money. So anyway, there's that. I think the Schrade Smith & Wesson company does a really good job of producing a quality, you know, a good quality knife for the money. I'll put it that way. And I've said that since day one. That's why I've been reviewing them every Saturday for the last 3 years. And I continue to say it. I think that for the money, it's a good knife. You know, there's other good knives. They're budget knives too, but I think this is one of them, and they've consistently been, I think, at a consistent level of quality as far as the ones I've seen. So anyway, there's that. That's my opinion. That's why I'm reviewing these knives. So let me take you down to the old stump top now. We'll do a little bit of knife stuff, and then we'll check the balance on these things, and we'll see if one outperforms the other. Who knows? Okay, here we are with the Smith & Wesson, whatever this thing is, CKSUR2. Called the Search and Rescue Clip Blade. Clip point. So we're just going to do the standard knife stuff because that's to keep things as consistent as possible. Usually, very often, don't do a paper cutting test, but we'll try it. This is a brand new blade, so we'll just see how well it does. And I'm not. So this paper's been wet, so I don't know if that affects it or not, but so I guess, you know, it's okay. It cuts some paper if you need to cut it. We'll call that one done. Now. It's not a full tang knife, not really designed for batoning or anything like that, but you can see we got some wet wood. I thought, what the heck, man, let's just try it and see, because why not, right? Just try it and see, just show you that you can do stuff. Oh man, it got hard on me there. There must be a knot in that thing. Okay, so not a full tang, but nothing broken on that, so there's that. And you really want to get to the inside of this because it has been raining out here. As you can see, everything's kind of damp. If you can see my britches, you'd see the knees were wet. So I want to get kind of some dry wood here to try to make some feathers or curls. That's probably more accurate. So let's just do that because that's part of my standard knife testing routine. And we'll just see what this thing makes on some curls. Use the tip a little bit here. Okay, that's decent. Decent, but not, you know, I can't honestly say it was excellent, but it was decent. You know what the next step is, don't you? It's see how well this thing will strike a ferro rod. The back of it seems pretty. Oh man, that's stinking good right there. That sucker's, wow. It's gonna be burning in a minute, even with the wet curls. There it goes. Come on, burn, baby, burn. They're kind of damp still, but maybe they'll go. There it goes. So, yep, it does a great job on the ferro rod. That's with no fat wood, so not too shabby. What should we do next? Okay, so the CKSUR2 clip point search and rescue did a pretty good job on the knife stuff. This thing really does throw some sparks. So the only probably negative, if you want to call it that, would be that it's just not a full tang. But it did baton some wood a little bit. So, you know, there are a lot of good knives that aren't full tang, by the way. For 25 bucks, seems like so far pretty good. But what we really need to know is how well it's balanced. So I think it's time for a little balance check now. We'll start with the clip point. Hopefully our distance is calibrated properly. Not too bad. Let me back up a little closer here. Okay, I'll try to go ahead and show some of the misses because I think that speaks to the toughness of the stick tang design. See if we can get you a little closer shot of the target. Huh. You been keeping score? I don't know. I think it's close. Okay, I think we're calibrated now, so everything's still tight. We're gonna do an official, like a 5-round throw off. So we'll see. And probably there's more of my skill or lack thereof involved than there is the knife, but it'll be fun anyway, so let's see. Oh no! And here's why you don't throw stick tang knives. You can see the size of that tang though. It's almost a full tang, but it doesn't matter. Enough weakness there. So let's try this, and it hit pretty bad, but so is this one. Let's see. We'll try again. Okay, well, I guess we're going to have to call this one a winner by default because it didn't break. To be completely fair, this is not a throwing knife, nor is the one that broke. That's why a lot of manufacturers just do not warranty knives against throwing. And I was kind of wondering if that was going to happen, honestly, because I just didn't seem to have my calibration going well today. So I had a lot of mishits, and I think that one probably hit like straight like that, or either like that. Either way, it hit enough to break it, so we're going to give this one the win by default. So I'll save the last throw for the end just in case my calibration is still tremendously off. Anyway, I gotta say, for 25 bucks, if you don't need a throwing knife and you just need a good all-around combat style knife, it's really comfortable, really lightweight, and just does that all-around camp stuff pretty well. I can't fault this one. It seems like a pretty decent knife, and it's just really comfortable in your hands, and it's pretty well balanced. So again, that's the CKSUR2 from the folks at Smith & Wesson. And once again, thanks to the folks at Smith & Wesson for sending me this one so I can show it to you. As always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and very often random videos throughout the week. Check out a new one by clicking right there. If you're not subscribed, please click right down there in the corner and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. You get to see me break some more knives maybe. Anyway, my name's Brian. Thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time. One more time.